Good evening, everybody. Welcome to the Pits, the Motorcast. Your host, Dave. And I got a special guest on the line, Kris Krabill, driver of the Dark Side Nostalgic Nitro Funny Car. How you doing, Kris?
Hey, what's going on, guys? How you doing out there?
Hopefully you're warm out there wherever you're listening in.
Yeah, please be a little bit warmer than us, where we're at.
So, Kris, first question of how did you get involved in drag racing, and what year?
I think it was right at the end of '89 I got involved. My uncle kind of got me into it in bracket racing, and so I started bracket racing when I was about 16 with a 70 Nova, and went on to a Super Comp dragster that I raced with my parents, and then just kind of moved on from there. I had met Gary Turner and went to work with his alcohol dragster, and kind of set off from there. And then years later, got the opportunity to drive for Gary.
Now you've driven for Bucky too, right?
Yeah, so I raced with Bucky for, I believe, about 5 years, and raced for Gary Turner for 7.
And of course now Bucky's what Kris took over.
With Bobby taking over?
I mean Bucky's car. Kris drives in though. Yeah, Bobby Cottrell. Yeah. Yeah, so I stopped racing the car back in the March meet of, last year. And, so Bobby's driving the car now, and I've moved over to the dark side. And you used to drive the Peddler, too, right?
I did. So I drove the Peddler starting in 2005 and raced that for 7 years. It was kind of cool because it was really the start of the nostalgia scene with these funny cars. I think when we first got going and built the car with Jeff Gaynor, there was only probably 4 or 5 of us at the time, and I mean it's kind of cool to see the progress and see how many cars have been out there over the years. And there's a lot of cars across the country and even the world now. So I've been in it since the very beginning, and it's been really cool to see that.
Yeah, I know. California, where you're at, there's a lot of nostalgia funny cars out there.
Yeah, there definitely is. I live up in Seattle now, but when I was racing for Gary, I was down in Orange County and lived there for many years. Most of the cars, it seems like, are on the West Coast, or a lot of them, but there's also a lot of cars in the Midwest and back east.
Yeah, because I know California, they have that, the Hot Rod Reunion and the March meet with a lot of funny cars. Yeah,
they usually have about 30 cars, so 30 to 35 cars at each race. So big time competition out there.
Now tell us about 2017. How'd you do?
2017 was a little bit different. I raced the March meet with Bucky, and then we ended that, and I went on to race an 8-field dragster back east with Anthony DeCero. Ran a couple races, one in Ohio, one in Chicago, and one in Indy. And then ended up racing with Smokey Allman and Rich Howe with the Dark Side Funny Car. Got back into it at the Hot Rod Reunion. So didn't really run for points. Won the championship in 2016 with the funny car, and then last year was kind of all over the map driving. So this year we should be looking to chase some points.
So now you said you won in Chicago with the dragster. Was that at Route 66?
I did, yeah. So I didn't win there, but I did race there, and so I raced at the national event there, which is a really cool track if people haven't gone to it.
Yeah. So when did you get your funny car license?
Got it in about middle 2005. Actually went down to when Los Angeles County Raceway was still going. Got my license there, and then I think my first race actually was the March meet of 2006.
Now, who licensed you?
Well, I licensed Gary Turner's car, and at the time Jeff Gaynor was helping us out, which he really got us up and going. And but I got my license in the Peddler funny car.
The Peddler. After you stopped driving the Peddler, James Day took it over.
Correct. Yeah, correct. So I think Chris Bennett drove it for one or two races. I know in Denver, and then James took over after that. Yeah.
And now James is going to drive the fuel altered for Ray.
Yeah, that's what I understand. That's what I read. So good for him, and I'm sure he'll do Ray a lot of good.
Now you were mentioning Chris Bennett. It looks like Chris finally might get to his dream, huh?
Well, he's got the car built, and looks like he's out getting his license, which I think he did get his license. And
yeah, he did.
You know, that family's great people, and I mean, to build a car like that and to be able to actually get out on the track, I commend them very much, and I couldn't be happier for him. And I know Chris is probably excited as hell to get that thing going and run some races.
Yeah, I've had him on the air twice for me already. So now,
yeah, great guy.
Oh yeah. So now, Chris, what was it like getting behind the wheel for the first time of a funny car?
You know, I think you kind of imagine what it'll be like before you actually hit the pedal the first time. And believe it or not, I knew it was going to be fast, and even though the car was detuned, but I ended up getting my license in the 6 runs I needed to, and I don't know, it's just something that I felt natural in the car, and it worked out pretty well. So I don't know, it was quick, but at the same time I felt very comfortable in the car.
So no claustrophobia when the hood came down?
No. If you have that going on, you better unbuckle the belts and get right back out, because it's not, funny cars aren't for you.
So when you started drag racing back in the day, was your family involved?
Yeah. So my dad and myself and my mom had a Supercom dragster, and then also had a 12-second 70 Nova Super Sport. And so, yeah, it was a family deal, and unfortunately, my dad passed away of cancer. I was, I think, 18 at the time, and so it kind of ended my racing right there, and I ended up going off to college. And after college, when I got back, that's when I kind of hooked back up with Gary Turner, and we decided to look at building a funny car.
Now, does your mom still support your drag racing?
Oh yeah, my mom will be out there at the March meet coming up. She loves going to the races. My cousin does too as well, and very, very supportive. My mom's been supportive my whole life, so which is awesome. I love having her out there.
Now you got a wife, girlfriend?
No, I've got a wife and a little baby girl, Kinsley, and my wife Natalie, and Natalie comes from a drag racing family, the Peck family, and so you gotta marry into someone who likes the drag racing, because otherwise it's a little difficult. They don't really understand it. So happily enough, my beautiful wife loves going to the races, so she supports it very much.
And how old is your kid?
She's 17 months. A little baby girl.
So you hoping to get her into a junior dragster someday, if she wants to?
Yeah, if she wants to, I'd be all for it. I think if I'm still out there doing it, and she's gone to a lot of races in a short period of time, and if she wants to do it, I support it big time, and I'll do everything I can to help her live her dreams.
Yeah, you could do like these old timers and keep going in like 70, 80, 90 years old.
Oh yeah, that's a good thing with drag racing. I mean, as long as you're healthy. I mean, look at the Greek and a lot of people out there. I mean, them race till they're 80 years old. So, hopefully I got another 40 years in me.
So when you started drag racing, Chris, what drivers out there were inspirational to you?
always been a Ed McCullough fan, a Dick LaHaye fan. I mean, those guys I thought were just the coolest. I was just big fans of those guys. I liked because they could, like Dick LaHaye could not only drive it, he could tune it, he could work on it. I think that for me, I'm impressed with guys that can do everything from driving the truck to driving the race car to tuning it. And those guys were kind of the ones that I looked up to, were those two drivers.
Now, for the car, the Smokey, the Dark Side car, do you have any idea how he came up with the name, the Dark Side?
He told me the story, and damn it, I can't remember what it was about, but it was something about on his dark side or on something like that. I don't know. I'll have to talk to him again about it, but I kind of like the name. It's kind of cool in my opinion.
It makes me think of Darth Vader. Luke, come to the dark side.
Yeah, exactly. So, a great team over there, and I'm excited to be racing with them this year.
So how many crew members do you have for the Dark Side car?
Oh gosh, it's a group of guys. I'd say there's probably 7-8 of us. So, good team, and everybody's dedicated to making the car go and win, and great attitude. So, we got a good team for this coming year.
So who are the main crew members?
There's Jeff, Scott, you got Smokey, Rich Howell's going to be a part of it. I'll be doing the clutch on the car. So, I mean, those are kind of the main guys, and I'm still getting to know everyone, so which is a good thing. So we've only raced one time together.
So does your wife ever help out?
Not really on the car, but she'll cook, she'll do whatever. She's there to support me and keep me level-headed and keep me calm. So it's always nice to have her around.
Yeah. So are there sponsors for the car?
Yeah, we've got Dart and Sleeves has been a big one. There's a lot to name. Rich Howell and Howell Drilling has been a big support and going to be a big support this year. And there's a lot of them. Marius Pistons / CP Pistons is helping us out this year. So it's just a whole group effort of getting a bunch of companies to kind of help out with product or whatever, and then Smokey and Rich, are the main sponsors, really.
Now, for this season, 2018, do you have any events planned so far?
Well, we're going to run the March meet, and so we'll start there, and then probably run a couple of the Boise races. Pepsi Night Fires, we should be there. Looking forward to that, and so we'll try to run. We'll just try to see how the season goes, and as time permits, we'll go to as many as we can.
So, how many times did you say you drove the car?
Well, I got in the car in testing before the Hot Rod Reunion last year, and then I ran the Hot Rod Reunion. So, I've probably got 5-6 runs in the car.
So what was your quickest pass you've done with that car?
585. We had some mechanical issues. So the car will run a lot faster. We had just tried to get the parts and pieces together, and it was a short time frame last year. So I know Smokey and Rich have worked real hard to build up our parts, and so we should have plenty of parts for next year. So, but to answer your question, 585 is the quickest we went.
So now, what have been some of the milestones of your drag racing career, Kris?
Well, I'm a two-time champion, so I won in the Good Guys Championship, which was the series back in 2000. I won it in 2006. I won the Heritage Championship in Funny Car in 2016. I'm a two-time March Meet champion, a two-time California Hot Rod champion, and then one of the biggest ones that I'm proud of is I'm the only guy to win the Pepsi Night Fires in Boise 4 times, and both John Forrest and Keith Jackson were tied at 3, and I surpassed them. So that's probably and I've been able to win most races on the circuit, and won a lot of match races back in the Midwest. So there's a lot of them.
So how many trophies you got?
Quite a few. I got enough to have people ask questions once they come into my office. How's that?
I can imagine. So now, for a drag race weekend, how do you prepare for a weekend of drag racing?
I think mentally, just kind of get in the mindset, and more importantly, I think it's important to go out and just enjoy yourself and have fun. And a lot of times that gets pushed to the side with a lot of people, and it can be stressful. And you have so many different things going on. But I try to mentally be prepared and do my job in the car, and then on top of that, have a good time and be safe, of course.
So what are some of your favorite tracks to run on?
I like Bakersfield and Boise are probably my 2 favorite. I like running Cordova, Illinois, out your way. Has been a great one. The Summit Nationals there in Ohio was completely fun. I had a great time, great track there. They put on a great show, and so there's a lot of them. But Bakersfield's always been one of my favorites, just because I grew up racing there.
So, any plans to come to the World Series of Drag Racing at Cordova this year?
Probably not this year. Yeah, I don't think that's going to be in the plans. But I've raced back there, and the people were great, and a lot of good racing back there, and just people are so friendly and supportive.
Yeah, hopefully maybe one day too you can make to the legendary Great Lakes Dragway in Union Grove, Wisconsin. That'll be cool.
That would be cool. I know Bucky and Steve Pluger, raced there. I don't know, probably 2008 or so. So I know that there's been some cars from the West Coast go back there, and here it's a great track. And I've raced in Cedar Falls, Iowa, and that was a really cool track. And so I would love to go to every track that I could and see a lot of these smaller venues.
Now, would you ever want to do Funny Car Chaos?
Funny Car Chaos, that's, where are we talking?
Well, there's 4 of them this year. I know 2 are in Texas. One's in Illinois, at Central.
Yeah, I got you, with the big pump and the blowers.
Yeah.
Yeah, I mean, I'd love to drag race, right? So, I mean, you can put me in any car and I would love it. So yeah, to answer your question, yes, I would love to. I love the competition, whether it be a bracket car or whether it be a nitro funny car.
Yeah, it seems like a pretty cool event. You could go up against the alcohol cars. Yeah. Mix and match.
Yeah. It sounds like a very creative idea, and I believe John Hill's part of that, and a couple other guys. So, yeah, that should be cool. I look forward to hearing about it.
Mm-hmm. Oh yeah, Nitro Kevin and Brian told me to tell you, hey.
Oh, right on. Tell them hi.
Yeah. And I know they're coming out to the March Beach.
Oh yeah, they're big supporters, and it's always a pleasure to see them out there. So I got a lot of respect for them.
Then you have Joe Walla out there, another big drag race supporter.
Joe Walla, yeah, no, he's a cool cat. I wish I could play the guitar like him. And so yeah, I'm sure he's playing out there, and always look forward to hearing him on Saturday. Matter of fact, I was on his show probably a couple of weeks ago, and enjoyed that. But yeah, just it'll be cool to see everybody out there.
Yeah, I know Chris and Joe are on air right now as we're talking.
Oh, right on.
I had Joe on my show Monday night. It was like almost an hour and a half.
Oh yeah, no, yeah, I enjoy all these shows, and so it's good. I appreciate you having me on.
It's no problem. I try to support you guys as much as I can. Get you out there for the nostalgia guys.
Yeah.
So, have you ever run 8th Mile?
No, I think one of the races, I can't remember where, but one of the races, the weather was really bad and the track was real slick, and they switched from quarter mile to 8th mile just for safety factor.
But so most of your racing's all quarter mile, right?
Oh yeah. Yeah, 8th mile to me, I mean, I'm sure a lot of guys probably like that, but to me, it's I want to go quarter mile. I want the top end speed.
Yeah. So now, where do you get your fire suit from?
I've got a Stan 21 fire suit, which it's an amazing suit. I mean, it feels like pajamas, and they just build. It's not the cheapest, but they build a incredible fire suit. And the fire I had last year actually burnt through some of the layers, and it protected me. It did its job, so I'm thankful for that. And so I kind of use Stan 21 for my suit, and then I've got Simpson and everything else.
All right. Now, throughout your drag racing career, Kris, have you had any accidents or near accidents at all?
I've had fires. I haven't had any accidents. Knock on wood. I've never crashed a car or anything like that, but I've had some good fires.
Well, knock on wood, you don't have no more fires.
Yeah, well, you look at the greats of funny car racing, and there's probably not one of them that hasn't been in a fire. That's just part of funny car driving. I'm a funny car guy to the core, and it's going to happen. And you just try to remain calm, and when it does happen, you just get out of the car.
Okay, so we're at the fun portion questions. Are you ready for the fun questions?
Absolutely.
All right. Hey, Kris, if someone gave you $150 million and like, Kris, build me a drag race track, where would you build the track, and what kind of features would you want to put into the track?
Wow, that is a fun question. Let me think about that. I would probably, that's a good one. I'd probably go back to Southern California and build a track, try to do something back in Orange County. And some of the features that I have, I'd make it kind of like a stadium style, like Chicago is. And maybe even do like some kind of, I always hate when it rains, right? Drag racers don't like when it rains. So if I could put up some kind of roof that had ventilation and do like a dome style track, I think that would be pretty cool.
Yeah, indoor drag racing.
Yeah. I mean, you obviously have to have a great ventilation system, but if we had some money, I'm sure we could build a concept to do it.
Yeah, you could go all year round.
Yeah, exactly.
So now, Kris, you have any hobbies outside of drag racing?
I do. So I actually race a circle track car, which is what they call a legend. And I don't know if you've seen them, but they're powered by a Yamaha 1200 engine, and they're a little short wheelbase, 34. They have 34 coupes and 37 coupes, and they're fun as hell to drive. So I've been doing that in my off time, and so that's kind of with the drag racing and with that. I play a little bit of golf when I have time, usually on business trips, and hang out with my family and do things with them. So that kind of takes up all my time.
Okay, now since you mentioned family, if you ever have time to go on vacation, do you have any favorite vacation spot?
I'm a big Hawaii guy. Matter of fact, we're going in April with some friends up in Canada, actually. when I'm out there. And because I grew up in Southern California, I did a lot of surfing when I was a kid, and so just kind of a way to get away and enjoy. And then so that I like Cabo, San Lucas as well, to go down there. So those are two of my favorite spots.
Sounds good. Now, if you were able to do time traveling and go back in time, would you do anything differently?
I would say that there's things that I would do differently, but I'm proud of my past accomplishments, and, you know, I'm human. We all make mistakes, right? And you just try to minimize those and learn from them. But, no, I would say I wouldn't, you know, I'm happy with my past and what I've been able to do. So, yeah, no regrets.
All right, what's your favorite food?
I love Italian. I love Mexican. Those are probably two of my favorites.
Now, does your wife cook?
She does. She doesn't necessarily love it, but she's a stay-at-home mom now, and so she always has you know, dinner for me when I get home, and I appreciate that she does that, because it's not her favorite thing, but it always turns out great. I'm gonna say that she does a good job.
All right. So, what's your favorite dish that your wife makes?
She makes like this, we have one of those instant pot things or whatever, it's like the newest crave, and she makes like a tortilla enchilada dish she makes in that thing, and then puts sour cream on top, and with some chicken, and it's pretty good.
Sounds good. So, what's your favorite beverage, non-alcoholic or alcoholic, or either or?
I'm so non-alcoholic. I like iced tea, non-brewed or unsweetened iced tea. If I'm having a cocktail, I'm usually a Crown and Ginger guy, or you know, beer. I'm a Coors Light guy.
What's your favorite music?
Probably hard rock, heavy metal. I'm probably my favorite band's Avenged Sevenfold. I've had a chance to meet those guys, and then just down-to-earth guys, and love their music. Just, you know, they have their own sound and their own way they write their music.
Yeah, most of you younger guys that I talk to out in Cali, Funny Car Drive, you like hard rock, heavy metal music.
Yeah, it kind of pumps you up. I mean, I listen to a lot of different, you know, hard rock, heavy metal before I get in the car, and just kind of get pumped up. So it gets the old blood flowing.
Yeah, that's why the show that my wife started, it's actually called The Pits of Metal and Motor Chaos. We interview metal bands too, besides you guys.
Yeah, no, I saw that.
Yeah. So going back to food now, on a drag race day, do you eat it all?
Very, very little. I think adrenaline just takes over, and I don't really eat a lot. You know, I try to eat like you know, bananas or things that kind of keep me going. But no, I don't eat a lot during the drag racing weekend.
After the races are done, you eat?
Yeah, I try to. You know, I've been kind of on a real health kick lately, and trying to knock down some weight. I've lost close to 20 pounds, and so I've been staying away from the bad stuff, and so I'm trying to eat more protein and vegetables.
That's good. I know you got to stay in shape when you're driving a funny car.
Yeah, you definitely do, and we can always do better at that. That's for sure.
So, what's your favorite movie of all time?
Shawshank Redemption.
Shawshank Redemption.
Yeah, and I like Casino too as well.
Okay. Now, do you watch TV at all?
I do.
Are there any?
I do. Not a lot, but I do.
Are there any shows that you ever binge watch?
You know, yeah, actually there is. I just got done with it, and I'm probably about 5 years behind, but Breaking Bad, I watched that on Netflix, and I was like, wow, that was the coolest show ever, and I'm sure everybody's seen it, but if they haven't, it's definitely one to watch.
Now, Kris, are there any kind of drag race cars that you would like to get behind the wheel someday?
As far as, I'd like to drive a big show car. To say I've done it. If I don't get that opportunity or whatever, I mean, I'm okay with that too. But that's kind of the goal. I'd like to go that route. But I mean, again, I'm a competitive guy, and I'm okay with. I love driving the nostalgia cars. They're just way cool, and a lot of different cars in the class and body styles. So I'm happy right where I'm at too.
How about a Pro Mod?
Pro Mod, I would drive it. I know they're hard to drive, which I know I do well in it, and they're cool cars too as well. So it'd be neat to I'm so used to sitting over the middle of the rear end that with that deal you're sitting off to the side. So it'd definitely be a different experience for sure.
Now, if you weren't drag racing, what do you think you'd be doing? The circle track racing, probably?
I just got into the circle track racing about a year ago. So, what would I be doing? I don't know. That's all I've ever done is drag race. I like to play ice hockey. I do quite a bit of that. Big ice hockey fan. So, I don't know. I'd probably play more ice hockey and travel a little bit more. And but I've dedicated kind of my life to drag racing. That's all I've ever done since I was 16 years old. So I don't know a lot else. My life revolves around that.
So now, for your drag racing career, what's been the fondest memory?
Of my drag racing career?
Yeah.
I would say that winning the championship in 2016 with the way the competition is in the nostalgia class, I would say with the group of guys that we had over at Buc-ee's that was pretty cool, and probably one of my fondest memories is getting to race with Hank Johnson and winning a championship before he passed away. That was kind of one of the biggest goals that I had, was I wanted to win a championship with him because he was sick and he never showed it, but unfortunately when he passed away, we were able to get a championship, and he went out a champion, so that was pretty cool.
So now, for you, are there any pros and cons of drag racing?
A lot of cons, buddy. A lot of cons. Most people don't win. There's only one winner, so just trying to get a race win. There's a lot of cons. It's a lot of hard work, but at the same time, it's very rewarding. So you fight for the pros, but it's a very humbling sport. That's for sure.
So what do you think about social media?
I got mixed emotions. I think there's good and bad to it. I think it's a great way to, get information out there and all that. The part that I don't like is it's really gone away. You'll see families sit at a dinner table together at a restaurant, and nobody's talking to each other, and everybody's on their phones, and that part of how we live today, I definitely do not like, and I think it's really bad for people in general in our society. But it's one of those, you almost have to be kind of savvy with social media if you're going to do functions of life today. It's just kind of the way it's gone.
Yeah, it's good that you can reach a lot of people when you tell them where you're going to be racing at. You reach a lot of fans.
Yeah, I mean, business-wise, it's a great way to, advertise and market your products. And, like I said, there's a lot of great things that it does and provides. But again, I just don't like the way that, people are just on their phones. It's like they're drones that just walk around and don't take their head out, from looking at it.
Yeah. At the drag race, you see people staring at their phones in the stands.
Yeah. Yeah, I mean, cool part though is too, you can, guys take cool pictures or whatever and then put it up on their page and they'll share with me and, so that part's really cool. I like that aspect of it, to be able to share people's artwork and people's pictures and all that. So over the years, there's been a lot of people that have sent me stuff that have just, really neat to see.
Yeah, you get the Facebook Live videos.
Yeah, that's cool. If you're not at a race or whatever, they'll tape the races or go live with it.
So now, speaking of social media, what's the best way for people to look for your schedule on online?
So I'm still working on the schedule, where we're going to go and all that, but generally you can, find it at KrisKrabill.com. I'll be putting it up there probably here fairly soon. Also, I'll probably post it on my Facebook page too as well.
What about the Smokies Dark Side page?
Yeah, it'll probably be on there too as well. So I would assume that we'll put that up there. But right now, we're just kind of taking the first race and see how we go, and then we'll figure out from there.
Now, how important do you think it is for kids to come out to drag racing?
How important is it?
Yeah.
If they want to, it's kind of there's a lot of things that kids can do today. So I think you're looking at, the era today, it's not like they built hot rods, when they were younger. Like a lot of guys are, in their 50s, 60s, and 70s that was big back then when they were in their teens and 20s and everything. And so I think it's a little bit more challenging to, get these kids involved. And, I've met a lot of great kids over the years and been a part of a lot of great, stories in their lives. So, for me, it's important.
Yeah, a lot of people say they're the future of drag racing.
Well, something needs to be, right? Because we need it to continue to go.
If you could get them off the video games at home, maybe get them out to the drag race track.
Yeah, exactly. Get them off the Call of Duty and get them out to the track.
Yeah, so I think once they see the live drag racing in their face, then they might be like, wow.
Yeah, I know a lot of the kids are into the import drags, which, watching those, I don't know a lot about them, but, it seems like a lot of the kids like the import stuff, so that's usually pretty packed when you go and see those races.
Yeah, but nothing beats the thunder of the Nitro Funny car and smelling the nitromethane.
Yeah, absolutely.
Or if you go see jet cars, kids would get enthralled watching jet cars and wheel standers.
Yeah, no, I've probably watched Eddie Outlaw Jones, a lot doing wheel stands and over the years, and I know he's been doing it a long time, but, the jet cars too, anything to put on, some fire and excitement and some noise.
Yep. So I think we've reached the end. You have any final words for all the fans listening in?
Yeah, just keep coming to the drag races. Keep supporting us, support me, and I look forward to meeting every single one of you. Just come up to the pits and say hi, and I love to meet people. So appreciate everyone that does support myself and throughout the years and the teams that I've driven for, and just come by and say hi. I'd love to talk to you.
Sounds good, Kris. I want to thank you very much for your time for doing an interview.
Absolutely. Appreciate it.
We'll do another one in the future.
Sounds good. I'm always here.
All right. You have a good night, Kris.
Thank you very much. You too.
Okay. Bye-bye.
Bye-bye.